In 1945, a world recovering from war began rebuilding itself using an industrial blueprint. Factories needed predictable workers, and economies needed calculable outputs. To meet that demand, education was redesigned as an assembly line, engineered to produce standardized human units. This reconstruction weaponized a specific mathematical tool, the Gaussian bell curve. Originally a statistical artifact, it became the benchmark for human characteristics. If you fell within the high center, you were normal. For those at the margins, the label of abnormal often serves as a permanent ceiling. A diagnosis of severe autism typically comes with a prognosis of limitation, a declaration that a child will never speak fluently, never live independently, and never reach the achievements of their peers. Wang Kak-hung was one of these outliers. Labeled with severe autism, he was classified as a data point so far from the mean that the system dismissed his capacity for mastery. By every conventional metric, his potential was capped before he even began. Today, Hung is an internationally certified Guinness World Record holder. Under a specific training protocol, he developed physical and cognitive capabilities that the vast majority of normal children cannot replicate. When multiple children, written off as incapable, begin outperforming the center of the bell curve on a global stage, the statistical model used to predict their failure reaches its limit. The exception doesn't just challenge the rule, it shows that the rule was never based on the full scope of biological reality. Most wellness and therapy models operate on a mechanical assumption. They treat the body like a device seeking homeostasis, a return to a fixed static balance. In this framework, the goal is simply to fix what is broken and return to the factory settings. But living organisms are capable of allostasis, achieving stability through change. Instead of returning to a previous state, allostatic systems recalibrate. They use stress to establish a new, higher baseline of performance that didn't exist before. While machines naturally decay toward disorder, living systems can generate negotropy. They take disordered inputs and transform them into more complex, highly ordered internal structures. In 1944, the physicist Erwin Schrödinger noted this unique ability to resist decay, but could not provide a protocol to systematically enhance it. This left a gap in human development that has remained open for 80 years. The children who reached the world stage through this protocol did not heal from autism by returning to a normal baseline. They were pushed through an allostatic reconstruction that built a new, more integrated neural order that bypassed their previous limitations entirely. This process is driven by VEM, Vibrating Energy Mastery. It is a protocol designed to maximize negentropy by placing the body in a state of controlled instability across 3 simultaneous dimensions. The first dimension, heaven, involves balancing stacked bottles on the crown of the head. This targets the Bok-Hoi point, forcing the cervical spine and the vestibular system into a state of continuous, high-resolution proprioceptive monitoring. Simultaneously, the earth dimension requires standing on a medicine ball. This activates the soles of the feet, the Jung Tuen points, forcing the entire kinetic chain to recalibrate against a curved, unforgiving surface in milliseconds. Finally, the human dimension adds juggling. Practitioners must track 3 objects, each with 7 distinct physical variables, like weight and texture. This creates a massive cognitive load at the palms, or Lao-Kun points. Because there is no evolutionary precedent for this specific combination of tasks, the nervous system has no pre-existing pathway to fall back on. To maintain balance and performance, the brain is forced into a high-intensity reconstruction, building brand new neural pathways from scratch. This demand links the fascia, corpus callosum, pineal gland, and basal ganglia into a single integrated infrastructure. This FCPG synchronization creates a superconducting state where information flows across the body with minimal resistance. This is an engineered instantiation of quantum multifocus processing. By forcing these systems to fire in synchrony, the practitioner upgrades the biological hardware to handle levels of complexity that the normal brain rarely accesses. Standard academic rubrics are built with maximum scores, creating artificial ceilings for human growth. A Guinness World Record, however, has no upper limit. It provides a third-party objective measurement where every peak is simply the current floor. This creates a trajectory of consistent, sequential mastery. When a practitioner masters a balance feat, the system doesn't stop. It adds complexity, like playing percussive guitar on the ball, ensuring the brain never reaches a state of static habituation. Dr. Van Kwok Viet, the system's founder, continues this practice at 72 years old. By maintaining high-intensity allostasis at an age when conventional models predict decline, he demonstrates that biological order can be sustained well past traditional limits. Faster, more urgent tone. This capacity for continuous recalibration is becoming a necessity. The linear education system was designed for a stable world that no longer exists. We are currently training students for predictable roles in a landscape that rewards the ability to adapt to chaos. Artificial intelligence is accelerating at a velocity that makes predictable cognitive tasks obsolete. Within the next decade, any skill that follows a linear, repetitive pattern will be automated by algorithms. The risk extends to every normal graduate optimized for the industrial era. Schools are currently producing workers whose primary value, conformity to predictable patterns, is exactly what AI can now perform faster and more efficiently. Slowing down, authoritative. There is one domain AI cannot enter: the embodied, multidimensional coherence of a living body-mind system. A machine can process data, but it cannot generate negentropy in biological tissue. It has no physical spine to align, no gravity to resist, and no internal sensory system to recalibrate. This protocol trains exactly what cannot be coded: a biological radar system built on proprioception and interoception. It is an advantage that depends entirely on having a body in a physical, unpredictable world. The myth of the statistical normal has reached its end. Your biological engine is factory installed and waiting to be activated.